Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts Bringing Value Home. No sugar estate will be closed. Wins AGRIVISION 2030. Promises to revive Guyana's struggling sugar industry. Sanctioned candidate could put Guyana in a crossfire. Attorney General NANDLALL. GCCI extends invitation to political parties to critically analyze manifestos. And the 1823 movement objects to the state erecting pavilions on parade ground. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Wednesday, 30th July 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We'll tell you this evening that with the sugar industry in a steady decline, the We Invest in Nationhood WIN political party is pledging a turnaround, one that keeps every existing estate open while shifting the sector towards long-term sustainability. Here is that story. In its newly launched national policy, AGRIVISION 2030, We Invest in Nationhood Party, WIN, outlined a plan to modernize sugar production, project jobs, and broaden the sector's scope. The party argues that while the industry is in crisis, it remains viable if paired with the right reforms in technology, land access, and legislation. The proposal comes at a time when many sugar-dependent communities are still feeling the effects of widespread closures, reduced earnings, and limited alternatives. WIN's platform seeks to address those concerns directly, making more than a dozen commitments focused on protecting livelihoods and modernizing operations. Guyana's sugar industry, once a major driver of the economy, has lost ground due to a combination of mismanagement, outdated infrastructure, and falling global prices. In the 1970s and 80s, the sector was a major source of employment and foreign exchange. But by 2017, the Guyana Sugar Corporation had closed several estates, including Wales, Rose Hall, Skeldon, and Enmore, leaving thousands without work. In 2020, the Ali administration moved to reopen some of the shuttered operations. Despite these efforts, the sector continued to struggle with production reaching just over 56,000 tons in 2022, well below the 100,000-ton target. WIN's proposal put forward a mix of policy, technical and financial interventions aimed at stabilizing the industry and setting it up for gradual transformation. Key features include legislative updates to the 1965 National Cane Farming Committee Act to better reflect the current needs of cane farmers, wage increases for sugar workers targeting rural areas where wage stagnation has been a long-standing concern, and promote energy efficiency. The party is also promising grants, tax incentives, and technical assistance to support diversification into other crops. At least 10% of cane lands would be allocated to organized farming groups under the National Cane Farming Committee. WIN's plan is likely to appeal to voters in areas hit hardest by estate closures under both the PPPC and the APNU-AFC governments, but questions remain about how the proposals will be funded and whether modernization alone can make the industry regain its competitive status. Whether the electorate sees WIN's AGRIVISION 2030 as a realistic plan or political positioning will be tested at the polls. But for now, the party is making a clear pitch. Sugar is not just part of Guyana's plan. It can still play a role in its future. Meanwhile, Attorney General NANDLALL is warning that Guyana could face serious financial and diplomatic fallouts should presidential hopeful Azardin Mohammed, who is under sanctions by the U.S. Department of Treasury, makes it into the National Assembly after the September 1 polls. While he admits that there is no legal basis that prevents Azardin from running for office, the outcome could spell trouble for Guyana. Attorney General AG Anil Nandlall, during his weekly televised program Issues in the News, clarified that businessman and political hopeful Azardin Mohammed has met the legal requirements to contest the 2025 general and regional elections. However, the AG decided to add his views to the already mounting concerns expressed by members of his party. He, just like President Irfan Ali last week and Vice President Barrett Jagdeo, cautioned the public to think beyond legality. Nandlall posited that the comments made recently by an international envoy is not an abstract diplomatic threat, but rather the possible effects, which he said is already being felt on the ground. The AG claimed that commercial banks in Guyana have begun closing accounts linked to Mohammed or his associates, including those of young people who have no formal ties to his business empire.
Once you form part of the governance structure of the country, there are going to be repercussions. That is a statement of fact. The Guyanese electorate will have to deal with that.
He added that this is all part of the global anti-money laundering and countering terrorism financing compliance. Banks, especially those with that financial isolation, Nandlall argues, could escalate if Mohammed enters parliament.
Among the repercussions are not only, well, first of all, American businesses. Well, if they deal with the sanctioned individuals, they can also be sanctioned.
Mohammed, whose businesses stretch from gold trading to construction, remains popular and highly favored in communities across Guyana due to his philanthropic donations and high-profile public image. But Nandlall's message is clear. This is not a popularity contest. It's a matter of national security and financial integrity. Kathy Smith, the newly elected president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, has extended an open invitation to political parties to hold discussions on their respective manifestos. The main objective is to critically analyze policies that may be beneficial to the business consortium over the next 5 years. Nightly News' Antonio Day spoke with the Commission's first female president and filed this report.
We have some areas that we would like to see in the manifesto that we want to ensure that businesses can benefit in the next 5 years.
That was Kathy Smith, president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, during an exclusive interview with Nightly News. The organization's first female president said the aim of this engagement is to allow the GCCI and political parties to critically analyze their respective policies so it can be beneficial to the business consortium. Smith underscored the importance of sustaining the business climate after elections, irrespective of which government is elected to office in September.
Because what we have been observing is unprecedented growth and development in our economy, and we want to see that continue.
As Guyanese prepare to exercise their democratic right on September 1, Smith is optimistic that all systems will be in place to deliver credible and transparent results so that the country can continue on its developmental trajectory. She related to Nightly News that GCCI is seeking accreditation from the Guyana Elections Commission for its personnel to be part of the local observers team. Meanwhile, the GCCI president said that the chamber has so far engaged 2 major political parties on the electoral process. The invitation was further extended to other contesting political parties.
Reaching with political parties, we have already done so with 2 major political parties. All contestant political parties, if they have an interest in meeting with the GCCI, we are willing to meet with them.
I am Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Ralph Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Ralph Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Back with the HGP Nightly News. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, on Wednesday launched its bold 2025-2030 strategic plan, which pushes for improved regional health security. Marvin Cato reports.
The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, on Wednesday launched its 2025-2030 strategic plan, which was formulated through a highly consultative and participatory process from member states, regional and international development partners. The launch was hosted at the Pexas Suites and Corporate Center. According to CARPHA's new Executive Director, Dr. Lisa Indar, this 5-year strategy seeks to pave the way for improved collaboration and ordination in a supervisory role that enhance national capacities to deliver public health goods and services.
So today is not just about launching a plan. It is about reviewing our collective determination, not only to recover from the crisis of the past, but to build stronger, smarter, more resilient systems that can withstand the challenges of tomorrow.
Dr. Indar, in sharing key aspects of the strategy, pointed out that it will be a living blueprint that outlines how CARPHA will continue to support member states through delivery of technical interventions, improved efficiency in the use of resources, deliver value for money, particularly in a climate where resources are diverted to areas most needed, all in an effort to strengthen the region's health security.
This plan is bold in its ambition, but is also cognizant about the realities we face. We know that the region is operating in a complex fiscal and geopolitical environment, and health systems remain under strain. Resources are limited. Climate and economic vulnerabilities persist. This is why the plan is also a call to action.
Meanwhile, Grenada's Minister of Health, Philip Telsford, said the carefully crafted plan is testament to the steadfast leadership to ministers of health across member states.
Political commitment is not just about words on paper. It is about showing up. It is about investing in systems, empowering institutions, and standing shoulder to shoulder when the wind blows hardest.
Notably, there was no representation from the Ministry of Health sharing a local perspective. The 2-day conference is being held under the theme Stronger Together, Advancing Caribbean Health through Collaboration, Innovation, and Sustainable Action. This is Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Main Street in Georgetown is currently a hive of activity as the African Guyanese community is preparing to observe the spirit of emancipation. Antonio Day has that story.
As Emancipation Day approaches, a vibrant stretch of Main Street in Georgetown has transformed into a lively bazaar of African heritage. That avenue is adorned with birds of color, rich textures, and tales that echo centuries of cultural significance. Local vendors showcase a variety of beautiful African-inspired crafts, patterned tapestries, and sparkling jewelry. Traditional clothing, resplendent in bold designs, hangs proudly, each piece telling a story of resilience and pride. This celebration of Guyana's profound cultural legacy is an invited feast for the senses, drawing everyone into the essence of the nation's history and identity. Sister Penda Guyan, executive member of the African Cultural and Development Association, during an exclusive interview with Nightly News, said that this year's pre-emancipation celebrations along the Main Street Avenue will be different from past celebrations, she explained.
This year we've decided to have an entire segment with all the food, so we call it a food mart. Here they can come and get all their foods, their cook-up, their metem.
Sister Guyan noted that the food court features an array of West African delicacies, such as jollof rice and igusu soup. Due to last year's large turnout of vendors and to avoid clusters and chaos, the AGDA representative said more spaces had to be rented.
We rented from church all the way to middle, so that way we are able to accommodate more vendors.
However, Guyan is disappointed at the lack of support from the government, given the fact that Main Street is a crowded area and requires enhanced security. She also bemoaned the lack of toilet facilities and disposable receptacles.
Toilets out here, there's no security. These vendors can't leave their tents up just for this period of time. We're here for 2 weeks, sometimes 2.5, and they have to dismantle every single night.
The AGDA representative is adamant that since emancipation is an annual observance, there should have been great support, particularly from the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. She reasoned that the Main Street Bazaar presents the opportunity for culture display and a sense of Afrocentrism, and the relevant authorities should have been excited by such initiatives. 2025 marks 191 years since the abolition of slavery, with the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833, which came into effect on August 1, 1834. This act legally freed more than 750,000 enslaved persons in the British West Indies. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thanks, Antonio. More news on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. C.Vaughn's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call C.Vaughn's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
When you are identified at the polling station as the voter you claim to be, you will be given a ballot paper for you to vote. The election official who gives you the ballot paper must stamp it in your presence at the back of the top section and bottom section with the official 6-digit number of the polling station. If you are given an unstamped ballot paper to vote, it is your right to insist that it must be stamped correctly before you accept it to cast your vote. If you vote on a ballot paper that is not stamped with a 6-digit number, your vote will not be counted because a ballot paper that is not stamped is not valid. It is your constitutional right and civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections, providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on election day. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-027-729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Government's plan to build pavilions and other structures at the parade ground in Georgetown, the location of the 1823 Demerara Revolt Memorial, has drawn harsh criticism from the Coalition for the 1823 monument. The movement views this as a desecration of the site's historical value. Antonia Day is following that story.
The government, through the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, has begun construction of 2 pavilions and other structures near the memorial site, where coalition members recently picketed. Pendeguyan, the president of the coalition for the 1823 monument, stated that the parade ground is sacred and should not be altered or desecrated.
It is disturbing to think that as we approach the 1st of August, we now have a fight on our hands for the parade ground. So that place is being desecrated. Now, how could you tell me at a time when we're coming up to Emancipation, you're going to go to put 2 pavilions beside the 1823 monument on the parade ground, which is sacred ground?
Maintaining its significance, Sister Guyan emphasized that the 1823 coalition cannot possibly sit by while the government or any other political party desecrates the ground. The African Culture and Development Association ACTA member called the government out since it professes to respect the rights of Afro-Guyanese.
You're at the same time telling the young people that this government is the best thing for them. How could you say this when you're disrespecting the very people that you're asking to support you? Because if you disrespect my foreparents, common sense tells me that you're disrespecting me.
A source told this newscast that the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport proceeded with the project without consulting the coalition, while the Georgia Mayor and City Council were also unaware of it. Sister Penda said inquiries revealed that the contractor was given the go-ahead to commence works by the Minister of Culture and urged Afro-Guyanese not to tolerate disrespect towards their culture.
And these young people don't understand that because it is by design that they're left behind. That's one aspect that we have to look at, that we have to change, is how we treat ourselves, how we respect ourselves, and how we respect others.
The 1823 Demerara Uprising was the largest slave rebellion recorded in Guyana's history, lasting from 1823 to 1824. Ultimately, 51 enslaved individuals were sentenced to death, while 31 were executed at the gallows that were located on the parade ground. I am Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned. Regional news is ahead.
I got a real problem, buddy. I want to vote on election day, but I got to work a 12-hour shift every day from Monday to Friday, from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, boy.
I got the same problem. I registered to vote in Kitty where I live in, and I walk in till up in Linden. And I only get Sunday for go home, and then back again Monday for work.
You know, truly speaking, the hours you work in and the place where you work should not prevent you from voting.
Really? How come?
Listen. The law makes it absolutely clear that employers should give time off to their employees so as to vote. All you have to do is inform your employer that you need time off to exercise your constitutional right to vote.
For real? That's exactly what I can do.
Hey, me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I didn't do that so bad.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
What's going on here, man? Why the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man in we house and thief all we valuables, including the ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. No, we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GCOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not to worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GCOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have the ID cards.
Well, how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But further, GCOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity. If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
So you get to vote?
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gw.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. I am Antonio Day. We begin with news in Trinidad and Tobago. A High Court judge has dismissed attorney C.J. Williams' application to stop the use of blindfolds during attorney-client visits at Teteron Barracks Detention Facility. Justice Westman James ruled that the blindfolds were reasonable due to security concerns. Williams represents inmate Earl Richards, charged with the 2014 murder of senior counsel Dennis Sitahal, who is being held under the state of emergency regulations. Justice James ruled that the request for a blindfold while moving through the site did not constitute a breach of rights and was not unreasonable under the circumstances. Attorney Renuka Rambajan stated that the prison facility continues to allow in-person visits while also offering virtual meetings to address concerns. Following a recent visit, Williams announced he would contact Criminal Bar Association head Israel Khan and Law Association President Lynette Sibaram Sweet regarding breaches of attorney-client privilege. He faced multiple conditions before meeting his client, including a ban on electronics and permission to use only pen and paper. However, he found the demand to be blindfolded for national security reasons excessive. Despite his claustrophobia, he reluctantly agreed, but was unsettled by the presence of 5 masked men in tactical gear during the meeting. Aaron Lewis instructed Williams for Richards. Ian Benjamin, senior counsel, appeared for the Commissioner of Prisons, while Jared Jagru appeared with Ramlagan, senior counsel for Attorney General. Williams said on Tuesday that he disagreed with the judgment. Over to news in Antigua and Barbuda. A judge has sentenced a teenager to 3 years in prison for the murder of a Syrian businessman, issuing warnings about youth violence in his ruling. The 16-year-old defendant shot the 25-year-old during a daylight robbery and was already on bail for gun charges. Justice Tundi Bakri expressed concern over the rising violent crime among minors, stating the potential danger being unleashed on the society of Antigua and Barbuda due to the sentence. The judge noted that while the law defines such offenders as children, their acts and deeds are not anywhere near that of a child. They have become a menace to the entire society, and something urgently has to be done. He emphasized the severity of the situation, stating that the main essence of government is to protect the citizens, and if there must be more concerted effort are doing this to rid society of this impending danger by supporting the youths to make their lives more meaningful. Justice Bakri advised the family to rehabilitate the accused before it is too late. He imposed the maximum sentence for a minor with 550 days on remand deducted. Upon release, the accused must check in at a police station twice a week and observe a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for 1 year. His co-accused in his 20s is still awaiting arraignment. And finally, with some news in the international diaspora. President Donald Trump announced on Wednesday that the United States will impose a 25% tariff on goods imported from India starting August 1. He also mentioned an unspecified penalty for India on that date, but no provided details. In a Truth Social post, Trump criticized India for having high tariffs and strict trade barriers, noting that while India is a friend, trade has been limited. He pointed out India's military purchases from Russia and its significant energy ties with the country, especially amid the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. India's Commerce Ministry did not respond to requests for comment, and Trump's decision undermines hopes for a limited trade agreement that has been under negotiation for months. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Goodbye for now.
No sugar estate will be closed. WI.N'S AgriVision 2030 promises to revive Guyana's struggling sugar industry. Sanctioned candidate could put Guyana in the crossfire. Attorney General Anil Nandlall. GCCI extends invitation to political parties to critically analyze manifestos. And the 1823 movement objects to the state erecting pavilions on parade ground. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.